Hello everybody and welcome to the CTC Cup Series Week 13, Week 3 of the chase, Martinsville Speedway. I think it's our first short track of the season, half-mile length. It's going to be a great race. Super excited for this. Only 2 weeks remaining in this chase for that championship for these drivers. Practice just about to finish up here, about a minute left. So the time's on the board here for practice. Dave Hoyt's on the top of the board right now. And with no time left in the session, Blake Cleo puts it on top of the board. Blake with pretty much no practice. Getting ready to start qualifying here. These drivers have 5 minutes to make their 2 laps. Dave Hoyt's on his first lap right now. He was one of the fastest in practice, so should be able to put down a pretty good qualifying lap here. Just crossed the line for the first lap. 19.62. Out of turn 4, see if we're able to improve on that lap. A little loose across the line, not able to. 19.62 will be the pole position right now. Andrew Beach out on track. Beach able to put down a 19.74. Trenton Sneed, the 19.65. Carlack out on track right now. Doesn't have a time in yet. Not sure what happened. Looks like he's stopping the car. Hayden Lowell now making his lap. Got a lot of last second drivers show up. Hayden put it at the top of the board, 19.54, Jake Pickerel. Another chase driver. See what that win at Daytona earlier this season. Looking to make it 2-time. 19.88 for his first lap. Across the line, second lap, will not improve. 19.88, sixth position right now. Okay, no one. Wow, Michael Christopher to the top of the board, 19.51. Ooh, looked a little tight on that corner. Looks like he'll let his first lap count. Blake Giglio now out on track. Minute 50 left in qualifying. Locked up the left front a little bit on the entry that time. Fifth on his first lap, 19.69. Across the line he goes. 19.4, top of the board. Quick time, Blake Giglio. So we have 8 people putting in a time right now. Looks like a total of 16 drivers in the session. So about half electing to not take a qualifying lap right now. Cliff Mullins is out on track. Like he's going to try to get that run up for the second lap. Seconds left in qualifying. He'll be the last guy to put in a time, and on his second lap he goes a 20.06, so he's going to start 9th tonight. That will conclude qualifying. So on screen there's our grid for tonight. Blake Giglio with a 19.400, really fast lap. Pretty impressive considering he didn't have much practice. So like I said at the start of the broadcast, obviously this is week 13 of the 14-week season, so next week will be our championship race at Texas Motor Speedway. But right now, these guys trying to make their way into the lead spot for the points. I see this isn't the typical playoff format you'd see in real life NASCAR. This is the chase format they did about 15 years ago. So these guys just have to be leading in points by the end of next week. And this race is a stepping stone in getting them to that position. Blake Giglio obviously missing the first race of the chase at Indianapolis. He's had a long road ahead of him. Winning tonight would definitely help his chances. Last week he had a crazy battle with Trenton Sneed. Trenton was able to get out in front and win at Homestead in that final lap. And that cemented his lead into the chase going into this race. So definitely a lot riding on tonight's race, and be interesting to see. But right now, see where everybody's starting out. Blake Giglio on pole, Michael Christopher on his outside in second, Hayden Lowell. I didn't see him the last 2 weeks, so he's out here maybe trying to get back in the points, but missing half the races. It's going to be really tough for him. But he'll be starting third tonight. Dave Hoytsman fourth, very fast in practice. Should have a good showing tonight. Trenton Sneed in fifth, last week's winner at Homestead. Andrew Beach in sixth place. He was our Charlotte winner. Charlotte Oval, that is. Dana Wellen in seventh. Jake Pickrell in eighth, the Daytona winner. Cliff Mullins in ninth. Harry Rindell in 10th, multi-time winner this season, championship favorite. Zach Swicegood in 11th. Jonathan Ledger in 12th. And that we have Cody Brown in 13th. Bucky Carlick in 14th. Jacob Kaplan in 15th, and rounding out the 16-car field, Shea Dairyman in 16th. Guys making their pace laps right now. Pace car diving off pit road. Start will be on green. I'm out of turn 4. Green flag is out. A little sketchy in the back there. Side by side for the lead. Michael Christopher gonna be able to file into second. Dave Hoistman stuck on that outside. Fall back to 5th right now. Side by side with Cliff Mullins for 5th place. Cliff Mullins gonna be able to take that position. Up toward the lead, Blake Giglio pulling up to a half a second already. Gidwell sitting comfortably in 3rd place. Trenton Sneed in 4th. Trenton, your points leader going into tonight, so he's going to be looking to just have a clean night, finish probably a top 5, and keep that spot. A little sketchy in the back there, Daniel Mullen. Cutting hard to the bottom. Harry Grindell kind of stuck in this traffic. Pretty side by side up front. Michael Christopher actually able to get around Blake Giglio. Not sure what happened there. So Michael Christopher to the lead. 22 machine. Last year's champion in that shortened season at Talladega. Dick Pickrell is able to take over that 8th spot. Perry Vandell just behind him, making the move to the inside. Blake Giglio is hot on the tail of the 22 machine. Looks like he's going to try to dive to the inside right here. That looks like Zach Swicegood taking his black flag penalty. So he'll go a lap down for now. Jonathan Ledger taking it to pit road. Looks like a little right front damage for him. Michael Christopher back in 11th place now. Man, I just keep missing these incidents. I'm gonna have to take a look at what happened there. So pass for the lead right here, Michael Christopher. Blake Giglio side by side. And into turn 1, still clean. I'm not sure what happened here. Oh, Mike just way up the track and then got loose going over the transition. All right. Go back up to the lead, side by side, Hayden Lowell and Blake Giglio. Lap 10 of 100. Hayden Lowell taking over the lead from Blake Giglio. Blake in second. Trenton Sneed just behind them in third. Cliff Mullins in fourth. Hometown track for Cliff, Martinsville. Jake Pickrell able to make his way into the top 5. Harry Grindell with a lot of front end damage. Sitting there in 6th place. Not sure where that came from. No damage to the rear of the 7, so he had nothing to do with it. Jonathan Ledger going 3 laps down, just behind Cliff Mullins in 4th place. Jonathan Ledger loose up the corner right there. That's going to be our first caution of the night. He tows it. So that's the second driver we've seen spin off of turn 4 tonight. This time it actually brings the caution out. So that will allow Zach Swicegood. Oh, we got some drivers heading up pit road. Hayden Lowell heads down. Blake Giglio with a bit of a fake out, and he'll stay out. But it looks like the majority of the field behind that point taking it down pit road. Harry Grindell probably going to take some damage repair. That front end is destroyed. Mike Christopher looks like he takes it down. He led a few laps at the start. Had that incident on turn 4, so he's going to be looking to get back up to the front. Definitely has a lot of speed. Hayden Lowell first off pit road. Mike Christopher, Harry Grindell, Cody Brown, Lucky Carlette. Boyceman still on pit road. Here comes the pace car. Gonna be close. Oh, he's gonna have to let him go. Unfortunate. So the 97 gonna go a lap down, but nobody else looks like laps down. So as long as there's another caution, should get the lucky dog. Sure what happened there. So these guys pacing. Got 81 laps to go in this race. Pretty short Martinsville race. If this were to go green, wouldn't be too much longer after this. Pace car light's gonna go out. These guys going double file. 13 cars remaining in the race. There is. Blake Giglio steps on it. We're green once again. They're 3 wide in the back. Like they sorted out. Those guys that took tires are a little far back here. Hayden Lowell the first amongst them. Was our leader previous to the caution. So he'll be looking to get up through the field as quickly as possible. Christopher side by side with Harry Grindell. They're able to take that spot from the 22. To the front, Blake Giglio holding on to that lead. It'll be interesting to see how those tires play into this race. They did about 20 laps under green, so definitely not nothing. But Martinsville not known to tear up tires. Hayden Lowell able to get around the 7 car. He's up to 4th place now. Seven, the first of those drivers. Hayden has come across with the older tires. Oh, Cliff Blown's right in the back. That's caution number 2 of the night. Another driver spinning off of turn 4. Lap 27. Not too much front end damage to that car. Take a look back at what happened. Okay, just coming out of turn 4. Yep, the car just stepped out on him. Couldn't do much. Locked down the brakes. Try to avoid that wall and spin it back around again. Right on board with him, see what was going on. Right along the car behind him. Yeah, car stepped out on him. I'll take it down pit road. Trent Sneed pits from 3rd place, maybe looking to take some tires. Like Leo gonna stay out once again. These guys should be good on fuel to the end of the race without pitting, so no need to pit for fuel, but we get a long green flag run, those tires are going to come into effect. That's 16. It's the only car with the tires he started on. Dave Hoyt's been taking the lucky dog. Every car racing should be on the lead lap at this point. Laps 31, 70 laps to go in the race now. Go green with like 68 laps to go. They're side by side. 1 lap to green. Green starting lap 33, 68 to go. We are a third of the way through this race already. Green flag, like Leo, early start. Although he did start in the top lane, which I don't think is allowed, so we're going to have to look back into that. I don't think the 5 was, or I guess the 67. I don't think the 67 was aware of that. So, Lucky Leo out to an early lead. About a half a second from that restart. apologies for the silence, but Hayden Lowell hot on Blake Giglio's tail now. Tires getting warmed up. Blake Giglio's still out on those old tires. 36 laps on him now. About 20 something of that under a green flag condition. Mike Christopher, that early incident, he's up to third now. Side by side now for the lead. Blake Giglio going to give him the room on the bottom. That's surprising. I would have expected Blake to throw a little bit of a block there. Still side by side down the front stretch. Blake holding strong on that outside. But Hayden going to clear him off the turn 2. Blake going to try to send it back to the inside. Not much there. You can see Blake just doesn't have the turn that the 67 does in the center of the corner. Those slightly older front tires not able to hold on quite like the leader can. So, those two leaders separated by about 0.3 of a second, about a car length. We look back behind him for the battle for third. Michael Christopher still third position. Harry Riddell just behind him. Trenton Steen sitting in the top 5 position. Jake Pickerel, the last of that second little pack. Grindell a little loose off the corner right there. That'll open the door for Trenton Steen. Try to get around him on the outside. It's tough to pass somebody on the outside at Martinsville. You really want to try to get down the inside into the corner, but Trenton looks like he's making it happen right here. Trenton took tires about 10 laps later than Grindell did. So, oh, Grindell! Sorry, Trenton Sneed off the nose of the 7 car. He's able to save it, but that was really close. That almost caught the 70 car in it as well. Oh, Cliff Mullins sideways into turn 3. I think he got turned again. Well, not turned again. He didn't get turned the first time, but I think this time there was some contact with another car. Cody Brown may be involved. He got some rear end damage. Take a look back at what happened. You're looking at Cliff Mullins down into turn 3. The 4 car right behind him. 4 just gets in there way too deep. Gets into the back end of the 37. And the 17 looks like it spins at the same time. Look what happened to him as well. I think he just got in the corner too hot. Seeing those guys sideways, want to try to avoid it. Yeah. We look out in front of him too much, not worrying about his braking point. Got in there a little too hot. Blake Giglio finally taking it down pit road, taking those 4 tires. Took a few 2-tire stops. That'll bring Blake back to 8th position. I'll leave Hayden Lowell in the lead, Daniel Llewellyn in 2nd, Dave Hoytsman in 3rd, Zach Swicegood heading from 4th, like Caroline Penton from 5th. So Jake Pickerel assumed the 4th position, with Blake in 5th. These guys pretty much going onto pit road where they were on track, but with a few cars staying out in the front, like Hayden Lowell, Daniel Llewellyn, and Dave Hoytsman all on older tires, which didn't seem to make that much of a difference, but just enough for Hayden to get around Blake earlier. But now the tables have turned. Now Blake has the newer tires coming from the back. And Hayden will have to try to hold the field off as they get up here. Approaching halfway in this race, 53 laps to go. Green with 51 to go. His car diving off onto pit road. Hayden low in the 67. Can get on that throttle anytime he would like. There it is, green flag back out. Okay, the 23, Daniel Llewellyn not with a great start, but he'll hold on to second place for the moment. Dave Hoisman sitting comfortably in third. Now 3 wide, Blake Giglio, Jake Pickrell on his 2 sides. They're 3 wide into turn 3. A bit of a lockup from the 97, but he keeps it in line there. He's got to watch that wall. Almost grabbed him. Toward the front, Daniel Llewellyn still in second. Blake Giglio making his way up to third on those newer tires. Daniel on 22 lap old tires, so not too old, but they're definitely going to make a difference. Oh, Blake will overtake the 23, take over second. All he's got left is the leader. Oh, 23 kind of sideways heading into turn 3 right there. 22 looks like he's getting shuffled as well. Trying to sneak up to 6th position just behind Harry Grindel's teammate. Trying to make the move on the 7 car. A bit of a dive bomb. Almost gets up into the quarter panel. Can't imagine the 7's too happy about that one. That gives them a lot more room in turn 1. Didn't want that to happen again. Phew. Blake Giglio right on the tail of the 67. Gonna try to make a move in turn 1, but he wasn't there yet. Martinsville's one of those tracks you really got to try to build up that run. Dive bomb just not gonna cut it. Harry Grindell able to make his way into 3rd place. Daniel Llewellyn falls back to 4th. Trent Steen in 5th. Mike Christopher making a move for 6th place on Jake Pickrell. Oh, looks like somebody had an incident. Cody Brown with a lot of front end damage and some smoke on the front stretch. I think we know what happened there. Looks like he's able to stay on the lead lap for the moment. Blake still on Hayden's rear bumper, and now he gets to the inside, ready to make that move into turn 1. He is there. Very sideways in the center of 1 and 2. He's got to lift off the throttle. That gives Hayden back the lead. So he just got in the corner a little too hard. And that allows Harry Grindell to make up some time on both of these guys. Trent Steen down 4th. Mike Christopher in 5th. Daniel Llewellyn a little hard into that corner. Very close to 22's rear bumper. Laps to go this time. Lap 61. Top 3 still about the same, but these guys nose to tail right now. Blake making another move to the inside. We'll see if he can stick it. There it is. Blake Giglio goes to the lead. Caution is out just as the move is made. Cliff Mullins again involved. Not having the luck at his home track tonight. Take a look back at what happened there. Turn 3 clean so far. A little loose in the center. Off for turn 4, the same deal as before. Duran got upset, came around on him. Pretty much hit that inside wall right where he did before. Blake Aglio, Hayden Lowell taking it down pit road. Harry Nordell staying out, along with his teammate Trenton Sneed. Mike Christopher also staying out. Zach Weisgood and Dave Hoytsma. Rest of the field taking it down pit road. Hayden Lowell down and away. Very close race to the end pit road. Blake Aglio will get it. Watch these guys come off pit road. Cody Brown, Jake Pickerel, Lucky Carlec, Andrew Beach, Cliff Mullins. Some heavy front end damage there. Daniel Mullen. Final one off pit road. So that'll leave the top 5 a bit different. Dave Hoytsma on 48 lap old tires. He likes to stay out once again. I think that track position is going to get pretty important from here. 35 laps to go. Pace car lights are out. Go double file again. There's 4 cautions tonight. I think 3 of those have involved 37. Oh, he has not had a good night. But maybe it'll turn around from here. Pace car gonna dive off on the pit road. That's quick front row. With the LH Motorsports, the second row, so a bit of a team battle here. That's green flag. Down into turn 1 they go. Side by side for second place, Mike Christopher on the inside of Trenton Sneed. Blake Giglia with a huge move, already up to 4th place. Gonna try to get that run through 3 and 4. He gets intercepted by Hayden Lowell. Mike Christopher will move up into 2nd. Trenton Sneed makes the move to the outside now. That's still blocking off those 2 guys with newer tires. Now side by side for 3rd place. Hayden Lowell on the inside of Trenton Sneed. Again, these guys have older tires, so it's really going to be tough for him to hold on. Trenton really tight in the center of that corner. He'll fall way back. Now Mike Christopher holding on to 2nd place right now. Harry Grindell out to a pretty yeah, but about a 2nd lead. Not too shabby here at Martinsville, but he's got 2 guys with new tires coming up behind him. Grindell still with that slight front end damage from the beginning of the race. Still not sure what happened to him there. Pickrell, Zach Weisgood side by side for 5th position. On the backstretch, 7 car will get the edge. The 4 car with a deep dive into turn 3 shoves the 7 out of the way. Oof. I'd be watching my mirror if I were the 4 car now. That was a Power move. Side by side for the lead. Hayden Lowell to the inside of the 70. Great run off the corner for the Hayden Lowell. But they're still going to be side by side to turn 1. Hayden able to clear the 70. The 16 should be clear off the corner here as well. So the lead now in the hands of the 67 of Hayden Lowell. Blake Giglio just behind him. These two have been the ones to win all night. Cody Brown taking it down pit road. Pit car is pretty torn up. Taking it back to the garage. Here reach Trenton Sneed. Next place good, all kind of a battle for 6th place. Big Pit Girl kind of driving away from those two now. Lap 78, 23 laps to go in the race. Pretty big gap from the leaders back to the rest of the field. Getting pretty spread out now. I'd be surprised if we saw a caution at this point. Now Hayden, like I said, missed the last 2 weeks. Started, I think, last in the chase, so probably pretty much all hope was lost for that championship. Not saying it's mathematically ruled out, but I haven't looked at the numbers, but I think he's pretty far out at this point. Blake Giglio just behind him looking for all the points he can get. He missed 1 race in the chase, so not completely out, but he's also fighting the same battle Hayden was, just not as severe. But Harry Grindell, one of those guys who's been here all chase, sitting really good in the points. A 3rd place is going to be really good for him. Mike Christopher as well. All those chase drivers, pretty much all top 9 except for the 4 car. You can see on that static shot just how spread out the field is. There's the leaders once again. Pitching up to the tail of the field now. Blake has been right on the bumper this entire run. And with 16 laps to go, you have to wonder when that chrome horn is going to be used. Will he wait until the last lap and risk the chance of the 5-car pulling, I'm sorry, the 67 5-car on track pulling away from him? Or does he take it now and try to get that track position before it's too late? Meanwhile, what does the 67 of Lowell do? Does he stare in that mirror, worry about where the 16's going, try to avoid that bump and run? Does he just drive his race, try to pull away, not even worry about what's going on behind him? It looks like that's what he's going with right now. He's pulled about a 0.3 of a second gap. $13 laps to go. Catching a bit of lap traffic. 23 Daniel Wellen just in front of him. Daniel not known to give any room, so definitely going to cause some issues here. That slows up to 67 just a little bit. Doesn't really open the door for Blake just yet. 11 laps to go now. Still single file with these two. But Blake is right on the rear bumper. Inches separating in the corners. Harry Grindal about 5 seconds behind the leaders now, so it's just these two in the running. Unless caution comes out, the 67 way loose off the corner. The 16 had to let out of it. That allows the 67 to maintain the lead. Hayden Lowell in the 5/67. Down the front stretch. 9 laps to go. Blake Giglio still hot on his tail. A little bit of a bump in there in the middle of 3 and 4. Bump again in the middle of 1 and 2. Blake really wants to get around him now. Great battle here for first place. 7 laps to go now at the line. Blake just not able to get him out of shape enough. Get him out of the groove. Hayden, I bet, is fully mirror driving now, trying to keep the 16 behind him. He knows he's going to try anything to get around. A lot more lap traffic up here, 97 and the 37. Ninety-seven will pull up out of the way. 37 still there to deal with. Gets a dive from the 67. It is side by side out of turn 4. Oh, 37 up into the wall a little bit. Doesn't really affect the leaders, so they get through that clean. 4 laps to go now at Martinsville. Blake gonna try to run up, get the run off the corner. Still just behind Hayden. 3 laps to go. Blake trying that outside line. Gonna cut it back down off the corner. Not quite able to do it. I think Hayden checked up a little bit to counter that run. 2 laps to go. Next time we hit the white flag. Down into turns 3 and 4. They take the white flag this time. This race is official. Down into 1 and 2 for the final time tonight. Blake Giglio hot on the 67's bumper. Down to the inside. Down the backstretch. They go. Will the 16 send it to the bumper? He will not. He's going to try to get the run off the corner. He just cannot do it. Hayden Lowe with the win here tonight. Blake Giglio gets second. What a battle, those two. Great win for Hayden. Great race overall. Dick Pickerel going to take home 4th. Harry Grindal in 3rd. So great points night for those guys. Mike Christopher in 5th. Trent Sneed in 6th. I think he might have lost the points lead with that, but definitely not out of the running for the championship. Going into next week at Legacy, Texas. But Hayden Lowell getting the win here tonight in Martinsville. All just for that. tonight, Hayden Lowell. After he was absent for a few weeks, comes back and gets the win here at Martinsville. Hayden going around doing that Polish victory lap. And parking on the front stretch. Alrighty. Get Hayden in for an interview here. Hey Hayden, it's Lucas. How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just great. That was a great battle between you and Blake at the end there. You did a great job. Got the win tonight. How'd you do it? How are you feeling?
I feel really good to get this number 67 Chevrolet back in victory lane after being gone for a couple of weeks. Had some scheduling things that didn't quite work out for me, but I really enjoy running this Gen 6 car, so hopped back in when I had the chance, and yeah, that was a really fun battle with Blake. He was just a little bit better saving both right side tires, it seemed like, and I think if he had gotten by me, it probably would have been over. I don't think I would have been able to get by him, and he would have stole another win from me. But just kept it parked on the bottom, made a couple mistakes, but was able to get some runs and get it back on the bottom. And lap traffic, I think, helped me out too, just the way I got through it, and it kind of held me up a little bit more than it did Blake. But yeah, it was really fun. Loved the tires falling off and having to really work for it. So, but overall, just glad to get this number 67 back in victory lane. I know it shows 5 on the broadcast, but it's number 67 in my heart. That's all that matters.
All right. Well, one more question for you. Martinsville isn't one of those tracks you expect to have tire strategy really play into it, but it seemed like pretty quickly like into the run, they started falling off, and it really made a difference coming down pit road. How far in the run could you go without really having to be like, oh, I have to come down for tires at this point on this caution?
This last run was probably about what you would be, okay, it's time for tires, because the tires would be fine and they'd be fine. You're like, all right, the tires are good, you know, but then all of a sudden they just switched, and the rears especially were just absolutely destroyed. And I'm sure you saw it on the broadcast. I was slip sliding the rears, and so was Blake. So probably that 30 lap range is where you started feeling the rears falling off, especially.
Yeah, we saw a few cautions, like you said. Those rears, saw a few of them tonight were just because of people, you know, the rear tires burnt off, they lost it off the corner and had to spin it down to the inside. So like you said, those rears were tough to manage, it looked like, and yeah, I definitely saw you guys getting loose there at the end. But you know, got that win done. Like you said, you weren't here for a few weeks, but you came back, got the dub here at Martinsville. And you know, just congrats to you on that win. And you got any other shout outs for us tonight?
I appreciate you putting on the broadcast. I understand you got another one you got to go do, but no, I mean that's really about it. Thank you to Blake for having me on the BGR team for this series, and yeah, I think that's about it.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you next week at Texas.
Is the Cup race next? Oh, my engine just blew. But it depends on what time the NASCAR Cup race gets done, because I'm not at my sim rig for that, so I have about 30 minutes. It's about a 20-25 minute drive from where I am to my rig. So if it gets done before 30 minutes before green flag time, I'm fine. But if it doesn't, then well, this will be it for me.
Okay. Well, if we don't see you again, it was a great season. Thanks for we're really thankful to have you here. You had a great run, but hopefully the Cup race doesn't run too long next week. But yeah, see you, man.
Yep.
Congrats on that win.
I hope to be. Thank you very much. I hope to be here next week.
that was Hayden Lowell, winner tonight. Bring in now Blake Giglio, our second place finisher. Hey Blake, it's Lucas. Got me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got in here pretty late into practice. I heard from Hayden in the interview, tires were pretty tough to manage, and the car was pretty loose. So it's probably pretty jarring coming into this race with not too much practice. But you were a contender all night. You put it on pole, which was very impressive, and just had a great run. And you had your teammate up there. I think that played in a little bit into you being nice there at the end. But how did you see it? And how was the race for you?
Yeah, it was good. I don't really think there was a way to bump and run somebody without completely destroying and putting him in the outside wall. So I chose not to do that to him. I should have tried it, I think, but it is what it is. P2 is good, and I was thinking about points there, so I'll take my points and I'll move on.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely points very important for you. You missed that first race in the chase, so it's going to be tough for you to come back. But second place finish, especially with a guy winning, that really isn't in the running for it anymore. It really helps you out. So, like you said, great points night. Thinking about it, and it'll be exciting to see what the points are. We'll have that up later tonight. And yeah, congrats to you on that second place. You got any other words or shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to you for broadcasting. CTC Racing, Low Draggy Sports, M9 Performance, Jake Swanson, Shack Technology, Apex Auto Glass. Everyone that's on the car, my teammates, they helped there. They did a great job tonight. Everybody else.
All right, well, appreciate you joining us, Blake, and appreciate the kind words. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Sure.
That was Blake Giglio, second place finish tonight, and final interview for the night we'll have Harry Grindell, third place. Hey Harry, it's Lucas. Got me? Harry, it's Lucas. Got me? Ooh, looks like we don't have Harry.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, hello?
Yep, took my Wi-Fi a second, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Well, Harry, it seems like we've been talking to you a lot these past few weeks. You've had some great runs. Third place tonight, maybe not exactly what you were hoping for, but still a great points night for you. How are you feeling?
I mean, like I said to you last week, just surviving this race was the goal, and I'd say I did that, so I'm happy with tonight. It was a strategy race. It was to begin with, and it was the way through. With the way the cautions were falling, do you think, do you take tyres now, or do you save them for a bit later? And with the caution around lap 63, I decided, you know what, it was too early to take my last set, so I stayed out, hoping for a caution around sort of 70, 75, and that caution never came. So I made my bet, and it didn't pay out. That's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, survived it. Didn't really crash at all. So that's one. That's one major upside. And in terms of the points, I'd say I'm probably one of the biggest winners tonight because both Hayden and Blake are the bottom two in the chase. So it's in terms of the standings, I've probably done about as well as anyone tonight. So played the strategy well enough and definitely in not a terrible position going into next week.
Yeah, third place, like you said, Blake and Hayden both not looking too good in the championship, and you finishing third, it's going to help you keep your position. Your teammate Trenton finishing sixth tonight. The top 8 were all chase drivers, so that's going to be tough for those guys to make up any ground and lose any ground. So I think, like you said, looking good going into next week at Texas. Bit of a longer race. I think it's going to be a little bit different than what we've seen. How do you feel about Texas Motor Speedway?
I mean, I'm not a fan. It's sometimes it's nice to me, sometimes it's not. It's more often not than it is. It's just one of those tracks. It's sort of like single groove on the bottom. You have to run it really shallow, and it's one of those tracks where tire saving really comes into its own, and that's something I've never particularly been great at. So it'll be one of those where I'm probably going to be on the back foot as opposed to on the attack. But you never know how these races are going to go. I mean, I thought tonight would. I thought tonight was going to be damage control, and it turned out to really not be. So we'll have to see when the time comes. But I'm skeptical of how I'll do. But we'll see how the points look tonight, because that's another thing. The points buffer, how that works out, that's going to be a big factor as well.
Yeah, you had a lot of guys leading laps tonight. You had a lot of guys falling back, going to the front. We'll definitely have to look out for those points with all those chase drivers really finishing next to each other. So yeah, like you said, good luck to you. With Martinsville not being a wreck fest, it kind of makes you wonder what Texas is going to be like, but hopefully it'll be good, and good luck to you next week, and congrats on your 3rd place tonight. Got any other sponsors shout-outs?
Yeah, obviously Team Kamikaze, Centers Hosting and Soyo are sponsors to Next Quick, Chance 2 and Low Time Motorsports. Everybody there, to yourself for broadcasting and putting on this show. It's been a bit cleaner this week than it has been in the past, so I'm sure you're happy to see it be a little less messy. I mean, obviously there was a few cautions, but it didn't seem as dubious as it has been in the past. So it looks like the season's cleaning up at the right time. So thank you to you for putting up with all that.
Well, I appreciate it, and it was a good one to broadcast. It was a lot better than previous weeks, but all right. Congrats on your 3rd place, man. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Yeah, see ya.
That was Harry Grindell, but we've been talking to him a lot. He's had a lot of good runs in the recent races, so good to catch up with him. Our results for tonight, and mentioned it in the interviews, top 8 all chase drivers. I don't have the points on hand right now. I have to go back and update all that, but stay tuned to our CTC Racing Twitter. Join the Discord if you'd like in the description of this broadcast, and you can stay up to date on the standings. But for right now, I'm going to be heading out, and make sure to join me in about a half hour for the Race 22 Street Stocks. I'll be heading to Hickory Motor Speedway, I think. So should be a fun time. Hope to see you there. But for right now, CTC Cup Series, we'll have one last race next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Don't miss it. And yeah, see ya.